there's a thing down here they call councils, and they like to, control people and their properties and so forth. But anyway, look, I'll speak for myself and what happened with me. So what happened is they rang me up and they're asking me, how am I going with the house and I go, what? I said, why are you asking? Because the guy said what happened about a year and a half ago. There was a big storm and a big tree kind of smashed through the house, right? And a year and a half later, the property's all cleaned up. And then the council ring up and they go, he goes, I came to you to see you, and we met. We discussed these things. And I go, did we? And he goes, yes. And he goes, he was talking about there was certain things like whether it be a spa, he says your spa or your this out the back. And I go, what do you mean by your? And he goes, you have a blah, 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 because he was there, right? He says he claims he was there. And he goes, you had such and such. And I go, what do you mean by have? Had. And then he goes, the spa there. And I go, do you agree with that? And he goes, yes, I do agree with that. And I go, well, is that agreement between you and me signed on a piece of paper? And he goes, well, I don't know what you mean. And I go, well, if you don't know what I mean, how am I to know what you mean? And then he goes, I need to come over to your house. And I go, okay, you're welcome to come over. But before you do, can you put down in writing on a piece of paper as to what your intentions are in relation to coming to visit me, and why do you plan to visit me? And then he got very grumpy and angry on the phone, and he says, you are obligated to such and such and all the rules and regulations and so forth. I said, do you agree with that? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I go, well, why are you asking me to do something yet I'm prepared to do what I'm asking? I'm asking him the question about putting what he's saying in writing, all concerns, and then what happened after that? He pretty much just hung up. So that's what I call a pretty good phone call. So if someone wants to come to your house, how things are done, and I learnt this by what I observe, what the government say. Well, whoever does it, the anomalies, they're demonstrating it in the paperwork. They go, express your intention. What's your intention? Yeah. Once you ask what's your intention, and they're there to put on the rules and regulations and the obligations and all of that on top of you. Yeah. You need the one way that I've experienced, and that's just how I've experienced it down here. I'm not saying, people go, why are you saying put it in writing? Well, down here it's like by putting something in writing, it's basically putting them into being liable into what they're saying. It's a liability. So after I said to him, look, before you come over, and it's important that we consider proper practice, which is the proper practice is establishing the intention of what is one's intention as to come and see you. Once you establish that there's agreement that we met, that there's agreement that he can come on the property and he can serve you notice and God knows what else he can. So this is the one that's very important. The one is in front of you. He's the claimant, and that's how it is down here. He's seen as the claimant. He's seen as the talk. You're basically saying, whatever you're saying to me, tell it to the judge. Anyway, he hung up, and that was it.
The judge only gets jurisdiction if he has two claims. Now, unless one claims they did or didn't do it, and the other one's claiming they did, the one claiming they did is fucked when the one responding says, hey, what first-hand knowledge you got of this? Think about it. It's real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. happy and they're unhappy, you know that you're on the right track. That's how it works here.
They're unhappy. They're unhappy because what am I going to tell the boss? The thing it is, I'd like to, hey, brother, before you get all grumpy and unhappy, can you tell me when you're like, who do you work for? And they say the state.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you worried about? Have you ever met them? Go check them out. See where they're coming from.
Yeah, they never met their boss.
They might believe they have, but it is, it's the illusion, man, so-called state, so-called Australia. When it dawned on me, I think I've told you this a time or two, Boom, but when I asked the judge, what's the difference between the state of Tennessee and the good tooth fairy? And he wouldn't touch that. It only works if one believes it.
It's once you believe it, then it's game on.
Yeah, but until they show up and testify, well, how can I help you?
But not so easy, some say.
Well, that's because we think we know something. Huh?
There you go.
Stop assuming, brother. Sooner people can stop assuming they know something until they meet the claimant. Wow, could it be it's that simple? Huh?
Yeah. Well, I find that as soon as they start bringing the the rules and obligations and the rules and all of that sort of stuff, I just go straight into, do you agree with that?
Well,
And it works. It seems to work really well because it's not something that they're expecting, because they're agreeing with some kind of a monologue that they've taken on.
They got two claimants. Until then, there's no controversy before the court. Think about it.
Once as soon as one agrees, there's now two. There's two claimants. That's as simple as that. Once you go, I didn't or I did. Now we've got two claimants. As simple as that.
Now you gave the court jurisdiction.
Yeah. So it's a very, very simple. It happens in a blink of an eye. Jurisdiction happens as soon as you open that pie hole. It's game on.
Could it be?
Down here, if you bring up any terms or anything, mate, it's like, they basically. They hold you in captive until you can prove. If you've made a claim, then they've got to investigate every. And then I'm not joking. They're so thorough down here, but they don't miss not even a jot, a tittle, or anything. It's 100% perfection. If I was just to share another little thing, with everything that I've gone through with court and stuff, I've now with driving, It's quite astounding because they've got these highway patrol cars. They're like the copper cars, right? And they've got more technology on it than James Bond, right?
Yeah.
They can see a car from the sky, from everywhere, if it's not registered or it's what do they call it, suspended license, etc. Allegedly, the car was suspended, and I'd keep driving around, and the coppers behind me, and they don't pick me up. There you go.
They picked you up?
No, they didn't pick me up.
Well, the point of the matter is you showed them what you are by the way you treat those around you.
Yeah. There you go. And it must be on their books.
No shit.
And especially.
Where you been? What have I been telling people, man? You show them what you are, they note that. They honor.
Yeah, they note that. Yeah, they note that. That's right. Yeah, and it's taken a long time, you know. Like, well, come to that. It's like,
but think about it, brother. He's born a claimant, man.
Yeah.
Didn't get there overnight.
Well, certainly didn't.
Getting out of there is going to be overnight, huh?
Yeah.
They say what I say is fucking bullshit and fucking crap, and I ask them, have you tried it? Have you lived it?
There you go. That's exactly right.
Until you live it, brother,
you'll never know.
You know, it's the old grand illusion, man.
But that's why I love these brothers, because they wake you up when I call it the agent's questionnaire. And when they start questioning you, it's about, basically the questions are, in a nutshell, are you in possession of the possessor's property? That's pretty much the nutshell. Are you in possession? Yeah. Are you in possession? And that's it. That's the basic game here. And
they're looking for claimants, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing. Yeah. So that's basically it. And then when you question their questionnaire with the listening to what they're saying, and then basically you're not bringing anything up. You just ask them what do you mean? Because they'll always ask, what do you mean by have, or have you got your license, and where are you going? Is that yours? And I just go, what do you mean by yours? And then they have to, and then what happens each time is they de-escalate the question, and then they repeat back, the wallet, or the car, or the license. They bring everything back to neutral. It's quite astounding, actually.
I'm led to believe we're all here to use stuff. And when you get dominion, it's not because you want dominion. It's because you want to be in love and honor and peace with all those around you.
So you're living it rather than preaching it. You're just living it. That's the main thing. Yeah.
That's all I've been trying to. Yeah.
If you're saying to I live in Dominion, well, come with me.
The thing of
it is, you are.
The thing of it is, the only way you got Dominion, man, is if your intent is the best for everyone. Could it be?
Yeah.
I mean.
But it's living the best for everyone, where there is no claim, and you're basically you're coming as you're asking. You're coming as a child. You're asking the question, and I see no fault in this man, and off he goes. What you do by yourself is probably the best thing, is to start listening to how you speak, because if we don't listen to how we speak, this is how we speak in front of an officer who's going to basically, there's a consequence that'll come out of that mouth, and they'll extract it out of it. And if you're not thinking about, what am I saying? What am I saying? And I'm making a statement. Am I using possessive terms? What am I doing? Am I asking? Well, what am I asking? That's the renewing the mind.